Peter and Lois should not be married. You can't change my mind. Because how did we go from Lois sneaking out on dates with strangers?
He's like hypnotized. Do we wake him?
That could be perilous.
To Peter having a literal 11-way with a bunch of dudes.
You guys!
So we're proving today, once and for all, Peter or Lois, all right? Who has cheated on the other more? Start the counter. First off, Lois. The first bit of infidelity went down in the episode of Bill and Peter's Bogus Journey. The president's motorcade breaks down in front of Peter's house, and now he needs his help changing his tire.
Hey, I appreciate your help, man. We're a little overloaded because I'm having a fat chick party back here.
All right, boys, the key is to put it all in your groin and your back. Lift with your lower back in a jerking, twisting motion.
How's the hernia, Peter?
I gotta face the fact that I'm just getting old.
Peter, being the absolute genius he is, tries to lift the car himself. No jack needed. Why? Because he went to the gym once for 15 minutes. As you can imagine, lifting the car full of fat chicks went exactly as well as you'd think. He was absolutely begging for that back injury. Laid up in the hospital, Peter starts to feel down because he's not as young and strong as he used to be. We've all been there, Peter. That's when Bill shows up to cheer Peter up. He decides to show Peter what it's like to feel young again, and together they do some pretty insane things, like getting high in the back of a presidential motorcade and stealing a pig so they can eat it.
Go, 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 go!
Now, I'm starting to think this parody of former President Bill Clinton isn't a very accurate representation of the real guy. Either way, Lois isn't very happy about Peter hanging out with Bill and going on wacky adventures. On the count of Peter being a 44-year-old man with responsibilities and all that.
Peter, that former President Clinton is nothing but a bad influence.
No way! Bill Clinton makes me feel young.
That sentence would go crazy out of context. Lois decides if Peter isn't going to stop goofing off with Bill, then she'll just have to go talk with him herself. Give him a proper speech about leaving her husband alone and all that.
Mr. President, I need to have a word with you. You certainly are very persuasive.
So I've been told.
Must have been one hell of a speech, Lois. Although I do have some notes. Maybe consider not getting naked next time. I know Peter would agree with me, especially because he just walked into the room.
Bill, you up for a little bowling? She's here humping you!
Look, I know this looks bad, and I feel horrible.
Okay, the man just caught his wife red-handed sleeping with his new best friend. That's pretty bad. But it actually gets a little worse here. Just listen to what Lois has to say for herself.
And I know nothing I could say to you could possibly justify why I slept with Bill, except he reduced the percentage of Americans on welfare to its lowest level.
I know you just finished glazing the man, Lois, but glazing him again when your husband walked in on you cheating, that's just foul. That's one count of infidelity for Lois. Peter isn't exactly jazzed about getting cheated on, so he goes to stay with Quagmire. I know Peter's in a bad place, but even I wouldn't touch any of Quagmire's furniture, much less sleep on his couch. Luckily, Lois swoops in just in time with a solution to fix their marriage. Her solution, Peter gets to sleep with anyone he wants. You know, make things even worse.
Anybody I want?
Don't be afraid to tell me.
Babs.
My mother?
Yeah, there would be no questions asked.
It's a little weird.
Look, you know what? She's hot. Guilty.
Yeah, Peter wants to sleep with Lois's geriatric mother, apparently. Different strokes for different folks, apparently. Speaking of strokes, how does Babs feel about this? I mean, she's a married woman.
Would you have with Peter?
Of course, dear.
Really?
I like your freaky spirit, but it's your craw I'm after.
Jeez, didn't know she was freaky like that. Peter gets naked real quick and it's time for some action. I agonized 4 hours wondering if I should slap Peter with an infidelity count for this, but it turns out I didn't need to because Peter don't actually go through with it.
I can't go through with it.
You have to, Peter, for the sake of our marriage.
I love you.
Really?
We'll get past it somehow. I don't want to do anything to hurt you.
Looks like love conquered all in the end, but I do kind of feel bad for Babs. She's clearly not getting enough attention. Peter and Lois decide to work through their issue together. No need for revenge lay or anything like that, but there's just one last thing left to do. Clear the air with Bill Clinton.
Hey, listen, Bill, you and I need to have a talk. Boy, you are good. You are really good.
All right, never mind. I guess he gets that infidelity count either way. Believe it or not, this is not the only time we actually see Lois sleeping with someone else, at least as much as the censors will let them show. Every other time, it's either off screen or they didn't go all the way. But none of her other cheating is nearly as creepy as this next one, because technically, it was with a family member. It all started with Lois goofing off with her friends, prank calling people. Lois decides to prank call Peter, and things get really weird.
Hello, is this Peter Griffin? Oh, my name is Rebecca, and probably don't even know I exist, but you're my father.
Don't you ever call here again.
That sounds exactly like someone who has absolutely nothing to hide. She should definitely not look into it. But alas, she does. Turns out Peter donated sperm before they got married, and he might have a couple kids running around out there. Lois convinces him to give out his information and let the kids contact him, and pretty soon they get a very familiar-looking visitor at their door.
I hope you don't mind the drop-in, but the sperm bank said it was okay to contact you. We were all pretty excited to meet you.
What do you mean, we?
Okay, maybe he's got more than just a couple kids. How much sperm did the dude donate anyway? Oh, wait, no, I have an answer to that.
How many times were you a sperm donor?
Well, only once, but I had just seen beautiful girls, so it was kind of a kablamo. You ever seen those videos where they put Mentos in Diet Coke?
Pretty graphic, but effective explanation, I guess. They throw a party for all of Peter's children, and everybody's having a great time. Well, except Lois, I guess. She's got all the cleaning up to do. But that's when she meets Larry.
You look so much like Peter when I first met him.
You look exactly the same, too. You're in such great shape.
Coming on a little strong there, Larry. That is technically your stepmom, I think, right? Well, either way, they both hit it off and head out to lunch the very next day. They even go for ice cream.
Look at me, I got ice cream all over my fingers.
Let me help you clean it off.
Larry, are you turned on or starving?
Oh, okay, coming on very strong now. Holy frick, Larry's a freak. There's no way Lois is into that, right? Ugh. Of course she's into it. Why am I even surprised? As usual, though, it does get worse. After kissing him, she actually starts weighing her options, considering the economic situation of the guy she's about to start an affair with.
I have to get back to my high school,
Oh.
where I work,
Oh.
to pay for medical school that I'm building
Ah.
out of popsicle sticks.
Oh.
I mean, just look at that. Slap a big one on her infidelity counter for that. So Lois is having mixed feelings about the kiss, and she decides to talk to someone about it. And just look at this scene. Look at the absolute scumbag Peter keeps in his house.
Kissed me, and I kind of let him. It could never happen again, and that...
I thought that was kind of like, I'm open for business.
Brother just leapt at the slightest opportunity to mac on his best friend's wife. What on earth? Lois comes to the decision that she's going to talk to Larry about it and then says this. Listen very carefully.
And we couldn't be anything more than friends.
So you're still gonna see him?
He's a nice young man, and he's practically family.
Practically family, as in related to him. Now tell me why on earth the very next scene we see this abomination.
But let's keep this friendly. You can choke me for just a second.
Hey, your bra strap is getting in the way here. I'll just bite it off with my teeth.
You simply cannot tell me she's not getting off on the fact that they're related. You just can't. Just like the previous cheating, Peter walks in, catches her red-handed.
What the hell?
Oh, Peter, we're just friends. He's just giving me a friendly massage. When's the last time you did anything nice for me?
I ate that gross pasta you made.
We gotta stop meeting like this. You just caught you cheating, Lois. You can't start defending yourself right then and there. Holy frick. Peter gets really mad and a fight breaks out, although it quickly turns into a one-sided beatdown. Turns out Peter isn't exactly gonna hold his own against a younger, stronger version of himself. After fighting a giant chicken so many times, I thought he'd hold his own better, to be honest. Lois saves the day, and once again, she says that she's sorry. Peter just folds.
Larry just reminded me of a younger version of you and liked that he was paying me a little attention.
Maybe I have been taking you for granted. I'll be the best husband ever.
You already are.
By the way, if you're worried this one's gonna end with Peter sleeping with Larry, don't worry, it don't happen. Thank frick for that. Peter does find himself in a similar situation, though. I say similar, but this one was mostly because Peter's a frackin' idiot. So Peter gets into old Nintendo games and decides to recreate Donkey Kong in front of his house. Slightly awesome, still pretty dumb, because someone can get easily hurt, and guess what? Someone does.
What is all this noise?
Farrell!
Ah, my foot! Oh, I think it's broken.
Got Lois's leg looking like a wet sock, and now she's laid up in bed unable to do jack diddly squat. That means Peter's in charge of taking care of the house and the kids, and you just know he's gonna be a natural at it.
Breakfast?
You're supposed to make breakfast.
Oh, right. Maybe we should go out for food.
Yeah, I think eating out might be a good idea. But hold on, it's a school day, meaning Super Dad here has to take the kids to school. Yeah, can't mess that one up, right?
Get out.
There's a grenade in here.
Use it to get a better lunch. You got the wrong bag. Finally. Ah, crap. 3 kids.
He's clearly having the time of his life. Okay, he clearly wasn't. But that changes real quick when he figures out people treat you real nice when you're a single dad. Doubly so if they think your wife's dead. Yeah, that's the thing he's telling people now. To be fair, it all started with a slight misunderstanding.
Where's this little guy's mom? Is she coming in too?
No, she's not with us.
She's dead? I'm so sorry.
Actually,
We make a great homemade banana cream pie. It's on the house.
my wife is dead. I'll have that pie.
But yeah, he runs with it, and pretty soon people know him as the dad of the dead wife. That's when he meets another single parent, and they hit it off.
My name's Becky. You're the single dad whose wife is...
2 feet under, yes.
I was wondering if you wanted our kids to have a play date.
Start hanging out, having beers at her place, taking Stewie on play dates. It's all completely 100% platonic. I lied. She immediately falls for Peter for some reason. Well, maybe it's because he keeps saying stuff like this.
Can I tell you something? I don't use this word lightly, but I love the way you cut sandwiches. You're amazing.
You're amazing, too.
Oh, she's falling hard, all right. Peter ain't even trying. Well, try or not, things start to get hot and heavy in the park.
We go back to my place? Keep the play date going?
You think I'm ready?
No, but I'll make sure you don't spill.
Yes, I'm gonna have to add that one to your infidelity count, Peter. And before you say it's not fair, just know that he keeps it a secret and don't come clean to Lois. He tries to handle it on his own, and well, it might have worked out if Becky didn't show up at his house unannounced.
Surprise!
Becky!
I wanted to come over and make you dinner.
You don't have to do this.
Hey, Mom too is here.
You're the funny Family Guy shenanigans. Becky has dinner with the family while Lois stays upstairs. At least that's what Peter would like. Nope, instead he gets to race back and forth, up and down, running errands all over the house to make sure Lois don't meet Becky. Really funny stuff. Doesn't work out though.
There you are, Peter.
I'm sorry, who the hell are you and why are you holding my baby?
See? Total right?
Peter comes clean and apologizes for what he's done. Happy endings all around, but Lois can't help herself from landing one last jab before it's over.
I don't blame you for what happened. You can do better than a 44-year-old morbidly obese guy.
I mean, she does have a point, but then again, that's a bit of a cell phone, seeing as how you're married to him and all that. In case you're wondering, yes, Lois has kissed a lot of people she's not married to, and sometimes she's done it in front of Peter. Although, to be fair, the time she did kiss Bonnie, Peter looked like he was into it, and yes, that did happen. But then there was that time the Griffins went on Family Feud. The contestants were introducing themselves. Lois saw her chance, and she took it.
Oh, this must be your lovely wife.
I've been waiting for this for years. I want to be your pinky ring.
I don't think Peter was into that one. At least I hope not. That one's infidelity count for Lois. Got a couple more examples of Lois kissing people she really shouldn't be, and they are way more messed up than that one. So in the episode Brian Sings and Swings, Meg pretends that she's a lesbian because she's got no friends, but the lesbians at school actually like hanging out with her. Meg is ready to change her whole life so she can finally have friends. She even comes out of the non-existent closet.
And I have something to tell you all. I am a lesbian.
That is awesome.
Peter.
Well, at least Peter's supportive. Lois, on the other hand, refuses to accept Meg as a lesbian, and she's willing to do a lot to get Meg to quit the charade. In fact, she might be willing to do too much.
It's not a charade, Mom. I am a lesbian.
Well, maybe if I'd seen you kiss your girlfriend.
Fine.
What was that?
So Meg isn't a lesbian. All right, Lois, you proved your point. Time to pack it up and leave. Lois?
Watch this.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to think this is all an excuse to kiss Meg's girlfriend and, show up her daughter in the process. That's one more count of infidelity right there. Oh, and in case you want to disagree with me about the showing up part, this isn't even the only time she's done something like this with someone Meg's dating. In the episode Goes Do We Go, Meg gets a boyfriend, Anthony, an actual, real, regular boyfriend. But hey, don't take my word for it. The whole town shows up to check out Meg's new boyfriend.
He seems to be completely normal.
I can honestly say for the first time that I am attracted to our daughter.
Okay, what the frick was that? I won't get sidetracked. We're dealing with Lois right now, but you know what? She's just as messed up as her husband, because after Anthony pays her one compliment, she immediately wants a piece of him.
Oh my God, that's kind of hot. I bet you taste like Mountain Dew and Starburst.
Spying on her teenage daughter, making out with her boyfriend, and fantasizing about it. Someone needs to lock this woman up immediately. By the way, it doesn't stop there either. By the time Anthony comes over to visit again, Lois is all set and ready to go.
We got a little welcome to the family present for you. My menstrual cycle's on there too, but I don't mind if you don't.
Thanks.
Good grief, woman, get a hold of yourself. She isn't just gonna hand him that little gift either. Lois is ready to make her move right then and there. She makes up an excuse to get Meg out of the house, and this woman doesn't even wait 5 seconds before trying to jump down this young man's pants.
Do my gray hairs bother you?
What gray hairs?
Kiss me.
Mom, I forgot my keys. Do you know where?
I don't think that's gonna fly, Lois. That's another big fat number on the infidelity counter. She eventually tells Peter about what she did, and once again, it's his fault for being a terrible husband.
Feel so unattractive lately that I went and did something disgusting and abhorrent. Peter, I made out with Meg's boyfriend.
And how the hell could you do that to me?
You've been making me feel old and fat and unattractive and worthless.
I'm starting to see a pattern here. Whenever Peter isn't living up to her expectations, she goes off and finds another man. Although, to be entirely fair, Peter was a pretty horrible husband this episode. He even admits it.
I could bring you down. You wouldn't start to notice that you're too good for me and run off looking for another fella.
That's ridiculous. I love you.
That shouldn't excuse what she did, though. By the way, this saga ends like it always does. Peter apologizes for being a bad hubby, and they make up. Now, you're probably thinking I'm about to tell you the time Peter kissed Chris's girlfriend now. Nope, not even. He's that depraved. He's still got a couple more counts coming, though. In the episode Big Man on Hippocampus, Peter loses his memory and goes on all sorts of wacky adventures. It all started with the Griffins on Family Feud. Yes, this happens after Lois tongues the hell out of Alan Rickman in front of her family and on national television, no less. But that's not why he loses his memory, oh no. He loses it because he's an idiot and can't score a single point during the show, so he gets mad and picks a fight with the host.
What, that's it? We lose?
I'm afraid so, but we enjoyed having you here.
What about my cave in the yard?
I served in the fictitious military.
Are you all right?
Where am I?
Peter gets diagnosed with amnesia and has pretty much forgotten about everything that's happened, and I mean everything. He doesn't remember his kids, his wife, barely remembers even how his body works. So how exactly does this affect his marriage? Well, Peter has always fundamentally been a creep, so things get weird.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, get nude.
Peter, you don't have to spy on me. You're my husband.
I guess the spying is a lot less creepy since they're married, but with his amnesia, Peter's he's just down bad, dude. They bone, and Peter unsurprisingly enjoys having with his wife. He mostly just enjoys having altogether. And he's not about to quit having a good thing, that's for sure.
And if with the rest of you is half as good as it was with her, we're gonna get along just fine.
No, Peter, you can't have with the kid.
Yeah, slow down there, Peter. See what I mean when I say he's fundamentally a creep? Forget his teenage kids. There's a dog and a baby sat at that table. Since he can't screw the rest of his family, he's gonna have to make do with what he's got. I'm just kidding. This is Peter Griffin we're talking about, the man with inexplicable riz. He's gonna sleep with anyone that'll have him.
You ready to have
You bet. Move over so Tiffany and I have room. She's the woman I'm gonna have with tonight.
I'm already pregnant.
Lois isn't exactly thrilled about the idea of Peter sleeping with random women, but Peter doesn't really care. To him, his family's just a bunch of nice strangers. Lois tells him that as a husband, he's gonna have to be responsible and faithful. Peter's response:
Well, that doesn't sound very fun.
Then we no longer have a family.
But this is my house and I'm not going anywhere.
I'm leaving, and I'm taking the kids with me.
So yeah, Lois and the kids move out and Peter stays behind. He's also 100% screwed Tiffany. Memory loss or not, that's still cheating, and you know what that means. One more count of infidelity. But he's just getting started, because with the family out of the house, Peter transitions to a full-on bachelor lifestyle, throwing parties and making out with strangers.
You left your family for this?
This is the way man was meant to live. I just know it. Check it out.
Don't you miss your family?
I don't even remember him. How can I miss him?
Just throws her away when he's done too. That's one more count for Peter. Well, the bachelor lifestyle don't last for too long. After getting whacked in the head a few times by Ernie the giant chicken, Peter gets his memory back. And at that point though, Lois thinks her husband ain't coming back and goes to sleep with Quagmire, of all people, while Peter returns and they make up, as usual.
I want you and the kids back. I want our old life back.
I don't believe it. You're back.
Ah, damn it!
Peter's still one count behind Lois, so I'm gonna throw in that time he had with a random dude in a restaurant bathroom. Insane? Yes. But to be fair, he somehow confused him for his wife.
I can't believe we're actually gonna do this.
Yeah, you go in first, and I'll go in a minute.
Oh my God! Oh, this is amazing! You dirty girl.
Peter, I haven't left yet.
You sick.
Because that's fair. Maybe at some point he must have figured out that that was a dude, and now he's just working on plausible deniability. Either way, that's one more count, squaring him and Lois off. At this point, it's pretty clear that these two have successfully cheated on each other a few times, but there's still a lot more cheating to go, because we haven't even gotten to the swings and misses yet. Because like in real life, you do not hit 100% of the shots you take. And Lois has done a lot of missing. Like in the episode Lois comes out of her shell, this one starts out with Peter once again making his wife feel terrible about her appearance, except this time it's on her birthday.
To my dearest Lois on her birthday. What a journey we've had together. Life has a way of changing things. What were once pink and succulent rose petals now take the form of the
Peter, that's enough.
Oh no, Lois, he ain't done yet.
You may not be the young filly you were when I met you, but you're still my reliable old plow horse. Pull the plow and let the husband horse slap a batch at her now and then.
So Lois didn't love his little speech, and honestly, it could do with some work. I'm pretty sure your wife running out of the room crying is not supposed to happen. Well, Peter's insanely crass comments trigger Lois's midlife crisis. She buys a new car, starts dressing and acting half her age, and pretty soon they're doing stuff like this in the laundry room.
Get over here and kiss me. Let's have on all the clean folded laundry.
I like it a lot.
Peter.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so disturbing.
They just sat there, listening. You know you got free will, right? You could always leave. Peter isn't leaving, though. He loves his new wife for a while, at least. Pretty soon, her wild partying lifestyle starts to take a toll on him. He's not as young and spry as he used to be. So with Peter no longer being able to satisfy her wild side, Lois turns her attention elsewhere. And by that, I mean she becomes a Justin Bieber fan.
He is so adorable.
I know, he's perfect.
This is back in 2012, so you tell me how well this joke aged. Of course, Lois isn't satisfied fawning over this barely 18-year-old kid. She's about to do what she always does when Peter isn't giving her enough attention, cheat. So she sneaks backstage and gets into Justin's dressing room, but she's not there for an autograph, let me tell you.
Hey there, cutie.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Just get your pants off, hon.
Stop right there. Get away from her.
Settle down, Lois. Wine and dine him first. That's one more count for you. Well, it's not like Peter let her go further anyway. He's here to confront his wife again. But first, he's gonna confront the young man his wife was just... Yeah, maybe punching Justin's lights out was a bit uncalled for. Once he's done with that, though, he yells at Lois for being off her rocker the past few days. And well, I think you've probably figured out the pattern by now. Peter apologizes for being a jerk and they make up.
I want a smart, beautiful, middle-aged companion. My Lois.
Oh, Peter.
He doesn't even bring up the fact she was trying to sleep with someone else. I guess he's just used to it by now. I mean, she pulls off stuff like this semi-regularly, like in the episode Girlfriend, eh? She immediately starts slobbering over a handyman that's about to fix her wall.
Just the handyman here to fix up bocce balls.
Hi there, young lady. I heard you had a hole that needed to be filled.
Is that a big job?
Nothing my caulk can't handle.
Hey, can't blame her too much, though. I mean, look at the guy. Is what I would be saying if she didn't take things too far. She's not about to let this handsome drink of water out of her sight.
I was hoping maybe you could come back tomorrow and fix our sink or something.
Why don't you call me when you have a few things for me to...
Okay.
Now, I guess who's gonna have to pay for all that damage? The same husband she's trying to cheat on. Talk about adding insult to injury. There's only one problem, though. Lois has competition. She's about to get caulk blocked by her own daughter.
Oh, this is Mama's show, Meg.
You've got Dad. Jamie's mine.
Meg, I'm warning you, if you don't back off, I will end you.
Mother of the year, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, fighting with your daughter for first dibs on the handyman is always going to end in disaster. Unfortunately for this time, it's not going to be Lois or Meg, for that matter, that suffers the consequences.
I'm okay.
See, this is what happens. You couldn't just share. Now he's dead, and nobody gets to have him. Even at his funeral, his frackin' funeral, Lois is still thirsty, down bad as all hell. She looks like she's in luck, though, because the handyman's twin brother just walked in.
Are you also a handyman?
I'm an inner thigh masseuse, specializing in moms in their 40s.
You must need a hug.
Yeah, that's gonna be 2 more counts of infidelity for Lois. By the way, she doesn't just draw the line at dudes, obviously. She's trying to cheat on Peter with women as well. Well, women that aren't her daughter's age, at least.
That'll be $6.11.
We could go to Montana.
At this point, she's ready to abandon her family altogether and run away with a random woman from frackin' Target. Heck, I'm sure she'd even done it by now. Target wasn't secretly an all-powerful murderous entity. I'm not even kidding.
Lady, wait!
Target might have saved her marriage, but she's still getting 1 more count for that. Once again, Lois has pulled ahead, but Peter is not far behind. Did you know this man has a second family? Apparently, he's someone else's wife.
Who's hungry?
Yeah, Mommy's home!
I'm so glad you're home.
Certainly worse than any other cheating Lois has done, I think. But who knows? Maybe he's a far better mother than a father. Still getting 1 more count, though. That isn't even anywhere near the strangest extramarital affairs Peter's been involved in. The relationship between Peter and the breeding bull takes the cake. And it all started because Peter wanted to be a cowboy.
I'm a breeding bull.
What's that?
You gonna find out. Fatty, we gonna have a party.
I'm not going to show you what happens next. I think you can probably fill in the gaps. I'm also not going to give Peter a count for this one. However, Peter didn't cut things off with the bull after getting violated. He starts, no kidding, consensually hooking up with him.
What is right, Meg? You gotta be careful who you get involved with romantically.
I'm in the mood for some coitus. Get over here. Pick up wine on the way.
Well, Angela, if I'm really the only guy at work who can solve it, I'll be right there.
We don't get to see what Peter does to that bull, but I'm pretty sure it's obvious. So, yeah, that's another count of infidelity. Although off-screen cheating does happen a lot more than you'd think, like the time Meg got into college. Peter decides to tag along and experience the college life, complete with joining a fraternity and hitting on girls barely a third of his age.
Hey, ladies, toga party tonight at I Delta PU.
Ew, no.
Oh, and let's not forget bothering the hell out of Meg.
Hey, what are you reading?
Boning up for an exam.
I boned up yesterday when I walked into the girls' shower. Sorry, Meg, I've been smoking doobies all morning. Talk about higher education.
Even after leaving home and going to college, she can never escape the torture. But that's not why we're here. We're here because Peter decides to enjoy every single aspect of college life. And I think you can catch my drift by now.
I'm a hippie now, and I'm feeling the burn.
None of my hippie girlfriends shower and my crotch itches.
What is with these two and shamelessly cheating in front of their daughter? And in case you missed it, Peter said girlfriends with an S. Lord knows how many women he's actually slept with already. But I'll be generous and only give him 2 counts. Speaking of off-screen romances, Lois has had her fair share of strange men just popping in and out now and again. Like in the episode Into Harmon's Way, Peter and Quagmire decided to start a music duo and go on tour. Before he leaves home, though, he makes sure to remind Lois how terrible of a husband he is.
I don't like what success is doing to you.
Well, I don't like what time is doing to you. Droop, droop.
Hey, checking my notes here. Yeah, I guess that's the first half down. Peter makes fun of Lois's age and or appearance. Next comes the cheating. Except we don't see any of that. Instead, Peter and Quagmire have a falling out and the band breaks up, so Peter comes home and we're treated to this reveal.
Dad?
Oh, boy.
You gotta get out of here.
It's been a great 2 months.
Turns out she's been shacked up with some other guy for the last 2 months. She didn't even try to hide it either. That's going on the infidelity counter for sure. Now, before you get mad at Lois, Peter's got his own cheating to fess up to. Remember how he had a falling out with Quagmire? Well, the two kiss and make up. Literally.
Oh, Quagmire.
Well, I'm glad to have you back home for Thanksgiving, Peter.
Whoa, what? I guess Peter was doing a lot more than playing music on the road, huh? And Lois doesn't even say anything about the very sensual kiss they just shared. I guess she was cheating on him though, so that might be too hypocritical. Seriously though, how are these two still married? That's one more count for Peter. It's gotten to the point where Lois just goes out on dates with strange men even when her husband isn't out of town.
Hypnotized? Do we wake him?
That could be perilous.
Middle of the day too, she's doing this. That's an obvious count right there. We haven't even gotten to the crazy amount of cheating these two get up to behind the scenes. And no, I'm not talking about the voice actors or the animators. There's this thing where the characters on the show are simultaneously actors in real life and the characters themselves, but they're also still a real family behind the scenes. Yeah, it's a bit confusing, I know, but it does lead to some pretty funny jokes, like this one.
What's going on here?
I'm pregnant.
We're in the middle of a thing here.
Peter, what's going on?
This girl is obviously not well. She's been stealing from the show, and she should probably be escorted out of the building. Family Guy!
So technically that isn't Peter, that's Peter, the actor that plays Peter. Look, I'm not gonna get any less confusing, just go with it, because this is also one more count for Peter. If you think getting a dancer pregnant is pretty bad, Lois might have done something even worse. Turns out Chris might not even be Peter's son. In the episode You Can't Handle the Booth, the family head off to record DVD commentary for an earlier episode. Although it goes pretty smoothly for most of it, eventually some very uncomfortable truths come out.
First, I find out you make 4 times what I do. Then I find out you were married before?
You're really bad at having when I'm drunk.
You're impossible!
Yikes, dude. Looks like the Griffins are just as dysfunctional behind the scenes. In the heat of the moment, Lois lets an old secret slip as well.
Philip Seymour Hoffman?
It was in his trailer during that tornado chasing movie. 9 months later, Chris is born.
I've always wondered why Chris just happens to be the only blonde one of the family. Guess that explains it. That's another count for Lois. I hope this tops Peter having a second family. And by the way, in case you're wondering, actor Peter cheats a way more than actor Lois. In the episode Inside Family Guy, we get another backstage look at the family, which includes this interview with Lois talking about what it's like to be married to a horn dog like Peter.
Certainly not easy being a family that also happens to star in a sitcom. I discovered those naked pictures of that 18-year-old intern on Peter's phone. That his phone number was the old number of her ex-boyfriend.
Come on, Lois, there's no way you believe that. I think she's in denial and you're about to believe me because this interview ain't over yet.
Still married, still on the show. And it's happened 5 times since then. And
5 more times? Dude, that's an easy 6 more counts of infidelity for Peter, and with that, he flies way into the lead. And he's gonna stay there because we aren't even done talking about Peter just yet. We haven't even talked about his 11 way. In the episode Family Gay, really on the nose title there, the Griffins are going through some tough times. They need money like yesterday, all because Peter bought a brain-damaged horse and took it to the racetrack.
Go, horsey, go!
Look at that impeccable form, really holding down dead last. Coming in last quickly becomes the least of their problems as the horse veers into the stands and does $100,000 worth of damages. Now the Griffins are in it deep, so Peter signs up to have medical experiments done on him, but he's about to get more than a dose of vaccines, that's for sure.
At this time, we're going to inject you with what we believe we've isolated as the gay gene. We will have successfully proven that homosexuality is genetic.
I don't want to take a chance on being gay.
We'll give you $125.
All right, I'll do it.
Peter returns home decidedly less straight than he was that morning, and well, it takes like 10 seconds to clock him.
Are you gay?
Guilty!
Peter's got some pipes. Lois isn't loving the idea at first, but it turns out being gay makes Peter a better husband and father. He even bakes muffins now. She decides that maybe they shouldn't go back and reverse things until she remembers what it means that her husband is now gay.
What are you doing?
Come on, sweetie. Let's have some fun.
I'm gay.
We can't have
no.
Yeah, they go to the doctor the next morning, and turns out Peter's situation isn't exactly reversible. It might wear off, or just might be permanent. And just when the family are trying to get used to their new dad, Peter bursts in with some family-shattering news.
Hi, everybody. This is Scott.
Who's Scott?
My soulmate, Lois. But don't get used to it, because I'm leaving you. I'm sorry, Lois.
Peter clearly did not just meet that man outside his front door. There's obviously some history there, so that means one more count of infidelity. But at least Peter had the testicular fortitude to leave his wife. That means I'm not gonna hold it for him for cheating. Just in time, too, because he's about to take things to the next level.
Guess what? I have a welcome home surprise for you. Remember how you told me your ultimate fantasy was to have an 11-way? Yoo-hoo, guys!
An 11-way. Now that is ambitious. Peter's living his best gay life, but unfortunately that doesn't last very long. The gay gene picks a very hilarious moment to wear off.
Everybody ready?
Oh, God, I feel like a kid in a candy store. What's going on here? Holy crap! Ah! These are mine!
Aw, I kind of feel bad for Scott. So much for finding your soulmate, I guess. I'd have to hit Peter with 11 more counts, but technically he was separated from Lois at the time. Tallying up all the counts of infidelity, we got 12 counts of cheating for Lois and 18 for Peter. Ding, ding, ding. We got a winner. Turns out Peter's an even bigger cheat than his wife. Be sure to reference this video next time someone tells you Lois is the worst wife or she keeps cheating on Peter or whatever. My man also slept with Bill Clinton, has a second family, and slept with a literal bull. Yeah, Peter's much worse. If you want to see even more devious characters than Peter Griffin, you need to click that link on screen immediately. You won't regret it.